So we just got Firefly Image 4 as well as Image 4 Ultra. New video generation from Adobe that seems to be looking pretty good. So we're gonna take a look at what's new, check out some examples, then we're gonna actually test it and compare it with my favorite image models. So by the end of this video, we'll figure out, can we change over to Adobe or do we still have to use our other image and video models? This is gonna be a fun one, so grab your coffee and let's get started. So this is the article that they dropped with a bunch of examples that we're gonna check out and figure out what's new. So let's take a look at the trailer right here, text to video. As you can see, this is something new that they're releasing out of beta. You also can generate frames first, then prompt it, as well as more 1080p resolution, square, vertical, and these things, as well as we can generate images, beautiful images right now. We also have Firefly boards, which is something new that you might have tested before. They renamed it, where you can have more control, place it on the canvas, and it's more of a inspiration board as well as continuing to design. So those are some really cool updates that we just got. And if you're wondering, is it available now? Yes, you can actually go to Adobe Firefly and test the new models, the Image 4 and Image 4 Ultra, but we'll get to that in a minute. The first thing we need to talk about is the Image Model 4. The big thing here is that they're trying to unify all their things into Firefly itself. This allows you to generate images, video, audio, and vector generation in a single cohesive platform and introduces many new capabilities. They're integrating it with professional tools like Photoshop Web and Premiere Pro, along with persistent access to history of generated content that allows you to efficiently transform concept into finished assets across your favorite Creative Cloud applications. But is it any good? Let's check out the images 4 and 4 Ultra. This image on the left, the prompt is hyper-realistic, an Asian woman in her mid-40s with a couple age lines, hand to her face in front of an oval framed mirror on the wall. She's looking at a reflection of herself. The reflection is her with smoother skin and she looks happy. So they were actually able to do that. Pretty decent. The right prompt is an award-winning photo of a stylishly dressed elderly woman wearing very large glasses, highly detailed features. And I have to say that this image looks pretty good as well. We've come to expect good portraits from these models, and many people or companies are trying to heavily focus on that. The prompt here on the left is an older man with hope in his eyes. On the right side, an African man wearing a magenta beanie, so we definitely got that there, standing at a crosswalk wearing a bright jacket, city in the background. So yeah, nailed that prompt here as well. We have a couple of decent images that are quite good. I really like the photo on the left because it looks almost completely real. I like the imperfections of the face. It doesn't look perfect. The grayness of the hair in the beard as well. The jacket with the wrinkles are looking very, very detailed. Even the hoodie that he's wearing has this nibs. Is that what you call it? Nibs? They probably got a whole department working on that. But then we go into animals. Here we have another nice polar bear photo, as well as elephants with a long shot of them walking in the water and so forth. It does look a little bit messy and it's quite hard to see the imperfections here. It looks quite good though overall. When it comes to architecture, this is something that is easier for generation models, and the one thing we're looking at here is style. They both have quite of an AI generated look to them, but I have to say that they both fit the very modern or luxury modern two-story cabin type prompt. When it comes to text for commercial imagery, we can see New York City being blacked out here, kind of like you were to do this in Photoshop, which looks really good. I'm pretty sure that this model is not going to be that good at text generation. We'll check that out when we start comparing and testing it. We also have 2D and 3D illustrations, which Adobe has actually been quite good at. They even have stylistic filters that we can put on top. You can even slide over to just do illustrations instead of photorealism. So they're pretty decent in that area. Here as well, we have more 3D and we have more of a vector illustration on the right. This cat is chilling hard with all these flowers in the background. It's almost like he's thinking about subscribing to the channel and liking the video. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on the second channel. It would mean the world. And you can always unsubscribe later as well. But there is more. We have a Firefly video model as well that I did test quite a while back. It wasn't that great, and we'll do more testing. Obviously, one caveat is that these are hand-picked, so they might have created 10, just picked the best one. Aerial footage, that's very easy to do nowadays. Even, I'm not gonna trash any other video generators in this video, but even the most basic ones can do these aerial videos. Now, what about human? So this is a really long prompt here with a close-up shot of an adorable toddler looking out the window, and we're getting these light streaks, and we're even getting this flare on the camera itself, which looks really cool. Here as well, we have a prompt that the man looks out into the distance pensively. And you can see that it looks quite good. This looks like it's from image to video. And the one weird thing is that the cabin here is red on the bottom and black on the top. It definitely looks like he's from Norway or maybe Sweden or Finland. Yeah, this dude is definitely from Finland. But I do find it quite weird that the house looks like this. Nobody in Norway would ever do this to their beautiful cabin. It would be either full red or full black. So that's something weird in my mind. Here we also have visual effects with the fire going up. This is something that's quite hard to do because the scale of the fire is something that is very hard to do. Corridor Crew did a video on this where fire is one of the easiest things to check if the video model is good or not, especially if you look in the distance. So this one is good, but it's hard to tell right here. We do have some text rendering though. This one is looking absolutely gorgeous with these vines and flowers populating throughout the text itself. They do have some of the common video generation things happening, like the blur and the appearance of things out of nothing. But overall, I quite like this generation. Now, we also have claymation and animation. This is one of the core styles of many video generators, and it's decent. I can't really tell if it's great based on this. Here we also have a prompt that is a warrior princess that looks at the camera once more before she turns away. Hair flowing in the wind. This looks great. Once again, it's another style, and the hair has quite a cool kind of volume or aeration to it. I quite like it, but it does look very AI generated with all the graininess that comes throughout the hair here. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Next, they have transition effects. So this one is a simple black image starting and ending with these pebbles kind of covering the screen. So that could be actually a really cool transition frame. The second transition frame is these leaves that are appearing and then moving away. Another really cool could be a title screen in your chapters in the video, for example, but we're not stopping there. We do have text to vector, and I would have to say that Adobe is one of the only AI image generators that are actually trying to solve that problem. In my thoughts, at least, I can't remember who else is trying text to vector, because vector images are quite different since they're not using pixels to generate, they're using obviously vectors. And it does seem like you can open these in the Illustrator app, which is a huge time saver for any illustrators that are using that app in particular. And then they have the new Firefly boards. I haven't tested this myself, but they have it as project concept. It's more of a reference image space where you can have an image here, then you can make more images and try to create your creative vision board or inspiration board, continuously iterating the last image to something you might like in the future. I actually quite like this. I remember Korea AI had something similar to this that I actually quite liked. However, many of them have gone away from that mode of generation now. So to see Adobe tackling that problem is actually quite cool. You can use it for mood boarding, storyboarding, creative brainstorming, just like I said before. But this is probably one of the coolest updates, which is you don't have to use Adobe Firefly if you don't want to. They're now starting to implement Google Imagen 3, which is quite good, Veo 2, which is very good, OpenAI GPT image generation, which might be better than Firefly, we'll check in a minute. Black Forest Labs Flux 1.1 Pro, my favorite image generator. And they're also see more products in the coming months like Runway, Pika, Luma, and Ideogram. This is incredible because it's really hard to catch up. Even though Adobe has a lot of money to fund their image generation team and video generation team, they have not been that great. To me, at least, it feels like they're always 3 to 6 months behind. So this makes me really happy. Imagine we can get other image generation models inside of Photoshop. That would be absolutely incredible. Or imagine you get Runway, Pika, or Luma inside of Premiere Pro. That would be a huge game changer for anybody using Adobe products. They're then talking about responsible and ethical AI. One thing that is really good with Adobe is that they do only license their own images. So they're not stealing from other places that are copyrighted, which is an ethical concern many have. So there we go. Let's go and try it. As you can see, I'm now on firefly.adobe.com and the model I'm going to select is Firefly Image 4. I'm going to create square aspect ratio, and here we have content type that I'm going to set to auto. Again, you can select art or photo here, but I want it to be as simple as possible and use it like it is meant to be used on default settings without any effects, color and tone, lighting and camera angle. What we're going to do is just describe a prompt. Now, I have just created a new image generation lab where we're going to test it against the newest, best Seedream 3.0. I just made a video about this. It is incredible. So we're going to take the exact same prompt here and see if Firefly is able to generate those. Here, what we're looking for is blue here on the left and purple eye, purple here on the left and blue eye. Let's generate, and this is the generation. Not exactly what we're looking for. Let me check the auto off and go to photo, generate again. Here we got the result back and it's not able to do it. It is purple here left and purple eye, blue here, blue eye. Here as well, purple eye, purple here. Oh, we did it in this generation, blue eye, purple here, purple eye, blue here. So that actually was possible. And right away, we can start commenting on the style. So it does look a little bit like a textbook from your school, maybe. It doesn't have that cool of a style. It looks more like, yeah, stock images, which is maybe you want that, maybe you don't want that. But yeah, first test was successful in 2 prompts. When we compare them back to back, you can definitely see what I'm talking about. This one has a little bit of a cooler style, I think. Looks more cinematic. But what about the next image, which is a one-handed ground move type breakdance? Let's copy and paste the exact same prompt, and I'll keep it on photo for now. That was apparently a little bit too hard for it. Even though we prompted realistic, it went into the art style. So yeah, we're gonna see how this looks. All right, man, come on. Do I have to say anything? This brother straight up breaking that arm. Face is definitely blurry and not real. The shape of the hand here is also ridiculous. The next generation is just a blur. Can't really see everything going on here. And what is going on? Are you back to having problems with hands? Adobe, get Flux 1.1 on here quick. So I need to select the best out of the 4. And I think this one is probably the best. But yeah, to compare here, Seedream versus Adobe Firefly. Yeah, we already know. But what about this next one that is a pretty hard prompt to do? And only a couple image models was able to do this, including GPT-4o. It's a quite long prompt. It includes text generation. So let's guess what we're gonna get here. In this case, I think I'm gonna select art, but I'll keep it on auto for now and generate. Also, if you're wondering how many credits I'm using, I'm actually using 1 credit per image gen, which is quite good. I have the Adobe plan that has like Photoshop included and some other products, but yeah, I get credits in Adobe Firefly as well, and I'll check if we can use it for free as well later in the video when we go over price. Now, this generation here, obviously all of them look so bad. This generation here was fine, but what is this? Just a stylistic take here. It looks like it is a stock photo, I think, or something like that. A 3D Blender image from 2005. Which one do you think is best? I think number 4 here. Come on now. This is embarrassing. What's going on, Adobe? Aren't you like the creative god platform? All right, I need to calm down. The next prompt is a sticker design prompt. As you can see, there's text as well as these animated emojis. And the prompt is pretty complicated once again, but many generation models was able to do this. Now, let's take a look at what Firefly does here. Man, this is terrible. Only one of the generations were able to generate 4 of them, which is obviously what we're looking for. We have such a detailed prompt about 4 different emojis that have happy, shy, surprised, and stuff like that. And just to let you know, all these image generation tools was doing better. Midjourney 6.1 was able to do it kinda at maybe an 8 out of 10. Ideogram 3.0 was able to do it. Imagen 3 as well did pretty well, but yeah, Adobe, come on. I have to select the best one, so that's this. Again, take a look at the comparison of Seedream 3.0, but come on, Adobe, I know that you got this. The next prompt is just a very simple one. Come on, you got this. I think I am in shock, honestly. It has street dance, and we get ballerinas doing like ballerina type dances. It did get the 3-view drawing kind of okay, but it's meant to look at the back, look at the side, and look at the front. Let's just try again with a photo on, and yeah, we get more photorealistic. That's not really what we're looking for. This generation here is maybe the coolest one because it is a chibi type character. So yeah, I'm gonna select that one. And here is the comparison. Just look at this design here. How cool is that? Look at the fashion that she's wearing. Look at the background with all this graffiti. It's even kind of faded out a little bit to make the character pop. You see the black lines around the shoes, and just look how cool the shoes look. And then we got, you know, character all right. You still see that it's quite a little detail on the laces of the shoes. But don't think we're done there. We still got testing video gen. Let's just go back. Let's just click on video. Okay, have some faith, man. We're talking about Adobe, the best in the game for creatives. I'm sure they're gonna do great. I'm just gonna go in and check out one of the AI prompts that we have for camera. Let's try to do a tracking shot. Tracking shot of a car driving through the desert with explosions in the background. This is a premium feature. Okay, we're still able to generate something. Let's check it out. Okay, pretty cool tracking shot, explosions in the background, driving forward, graininess levels high, explosions in the background, nuclear. Car is actually following the line. It does a little bit of that slight shift of the car. And you do see that the consistency in the shading here is actually quite good. It looks like the sun is to the right and is casting this massive shadow on the car as well as the shrubbery on the side. I do have to say that text to video is quite hard for most AI video generation models, and that's why I always used image to video. So they do have that included here as well. We can add a first frame. So let's test it on that. This is the image that we're going to try to make into a video. And the prompt is gorgeous Norwegian girl walking towards a cabin in the mountain. I also want to note that we can change the resolution here all the way to 1080p. There are different settings on the aspect ratio. We can we can't change the frames per second, but we can add camera motion here on the side. This is usually done in the prompt. And we also do have a advanced seed. But how is the generation? Come on, Firefly. All right, we see the feet are actually walking. The hands and everything is actually looking pretty good. All right, it's not terrible. You do see some shuffling of the feet, but the camera is following her and we're going closer to the cabin. You do see the consistency of the background and the cabin actually move quite well. The only thing I'm kind of skeptical about is the feet moving right here, but overall pretty decent, to be honest. That's pretty good, Firefly. This is the next image that we're gonna test. And for this one, we're gonna do a slow zoom out of a humanoid tiger doing kung fu. Generate, and we reached the limits. 2 complementary generations. Oh, thank you, Adobe. Well, that leaves us perfectly to talk about the price. Adobe Firefly is 120 Norwegian crowns, so that's around $12. Just remove 1 0. And here as well is around $36 a month. On the standard plan, we get 2,000 monthly generative credits to exclusively use on premium video and audio features. This can generate you up to 25-second videos or translate up to 6 minutes of audio and video. This also gives you unlimited image, vector, text-to-image, generative fill, and more, and you get some storage. The same goes for the upgraded pack that allows you to create 75-second videos for $36 a month. If you are as disappointed by this as me, the good news is that you can always go to Kling. Just look at this crazy generation right here. They just released 2.0. You can do things like this. No worries. What about this? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. What about this? Yeah. That's what you can do in the actual best of the video generation models. That's today's videos, AI mates. What an absolute shame. I'm not happy. I expected way more. I rate this a damaged Snorlax card out of 10. The only good thing to come out of it is maybe their integration with other AI video generators or other AI image generators. That does seem to be the best play for them right now. You can see that they haven't been able to catch up on any image or video generation models. So I think that's what they should focus on next. Like I said, implement the best tech into your tools like Photoshop. Imagine you had all the best image generators in there. I'm pissed. I'm gonna go work out. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like the honesty and transparency. And if you do, subscribe. We're always talking about new AI every single day. And also, how to use them to automate your work. If you're more interested in that, you can check out our school community in the description down below. We don't have a giant community yet, but that means that we can try harder to help you turn a 3-hour task down to just 15 minutes with AI automation. So check that out in the school community in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.